Every time you select reverse, say, to back up to a charging station, you'll notice, at the upper edge of the camera's view, a red bar hovers. It's the taillight blocking part of the lens. Indeed, this overlap is minor, something like 98% of what's behind you remains visible. But this little incongruity is largely indicative of the 2022 Audi Q4 E-Tron experience. As Audi works to expand its electric lineup, the relatively inexpensive and mainstream Q4 is a crucial addition. Built on the MEB architecture that also underpins the Volkswagen ID.4, the Q4's performance is close to its workaday counterpart. But the expectations here, like the price tag, are higher. The four-ring logos suggest a luxurious overall experience. The logos are present, but that experience is not. Whether in standard SUV or swoopy sportback form, every Q4 carries a battery with 77.0 kilowatt-hours of usable capacity, which on 40 badged base models sends electrons to a rear motor. That's right, a rear-drive Audi. Our test vehicle was built in range-topping prestige trim, which has a 50-badge dual-motor powertrain enabling the Quattro all-wheel drive Audi is known for. Combined, these motors spin out 295 horsepower and 339 lb-ft of torque, numbers identical to all-wheel drive equipped Volkswagen ID.4 models. Thus, it's perhaps unsurprising this Q4 delivers similar performance, clocking a 5.6 second 0 to 60 miles per hour time while the ID.4 took 5.4 seconds. In the quarter mile, the Q4 took 14.2 seconds at 98.6 miles per hour, a blink behind the 14.1 second, 99.5 mph ID.4. This 4,940-pound Audi weighs just 21 pounds more than the Volkswagen. Out and about, the Q4's acceleration is entirely sufficient, smooth and uninterrupted in that distinctly electric way. There's appreciable pep up to about 60 miles per hour when it begins to taper off. Although not lacking, the Q4 speed doesn't thrill like other dual-motor compact electric crossovers, which are generally more powerful and quicker. For example, the Kia EV6 hits the mark in 4.5 seconds, and then there's its ballistic GT variant. Similar to the Audi and VW, the Kia has a related Genesis-branded model using the same mechanicals, the GV60, which in its quickest performance trim hits 60 miles per hour in 3.6 seconds. Handling matters. On the smooth surface at our test track, the Q4 gripped the skid pad at 0.86 G average and lapped our figure-8 course in 26.4 seconds at 0.67 G average. Both results are close to those of the dual-motor ID.4 and others in the segment, such as the sporty Ford Mustang Mach-E 4X. That's aided by the Q4's 49/51% front/rear weight distribution, a balance that melds with the motor's power delivery to make changes in direction intuitive. However, undulations, imperfections, and textures that mar roads everywhere perturb the Q4. As we found in our first drive, the suspension setup seems oversprung and underdamped, leading to a firm, busy ride that subjects occupants to plenty of horizontal motions. Such body control burdens the driver to catch the Q4 as it rebounds away from mid-corner bumps. If the steering were more consistent, that might not be a concern. The Q4 is equipped with a progressive ratio rack meant to enhance maneuverability at low speeds and reduce effort at higher speeds. To the former, success, the Q4's turning radius is remarkably tight, letting it angle into snug parking spaces and around sharp corners. To the latter, not so much. The on-center numb spot and unsettled ride conspire to make highway driving an exercise in small course corrections. That means even more interaction with the strange steering wheel, which isn't round but rather has a decidedly flat top and bottom, with canted sides that give it a hexagonal sensation in the hands, for want of one pedal. Despite having rear drum brakes, yes, just like the ID.4, the Q4 stopped from 60 miles per hour in 123 feet. That's reasonable, 1 foot ahead of the ID.4 and tied with the 2023 SUV of the year winning Hyundai Ioniq 5. It's much shorter than the Mercedes EQB 350's 137-foot halt. Ideally, you'll never experience that emergency stop performance, but routine braking you'll do a lot more often is less satisfying than that objective distance figure. Initially, the brake pedal feels spongy as you push it through the top of the stroke where the motor regeneration slows the Q4, before firming up as the friction brakes activate as you press the pedal more. This unnatural blending can cause unexpectedly abrupt deceleration as the speedometer nears zero. These brake feel foibles might have been lessened if the Q4's one-pedal driving capabilities were better. You can use the steering wheel paddles to toggle between 3 levels of regen, mimicking downshifting a combustion powertrain, or slide the shifter to the B setting, which activates stronger regen that will gradually slow the Q4 to an observed 3 miles per hour. But you must always press the brake pedal to stop completely. Why no true one-pedal mode, where you could simply lift your foot off the accelerator to bring the Audi to a full stop? The automaker concluded that letting the car coast when you lift off the accelerator is most efficient. This may be, but we'd prefer Audi let drivers choose a more aggressive setting, as many manufacturers do. The Q4's milquetoast driving manners would be more tolerable within an appropriately luxurious interior. An undue amount of hard plastic lines the cabin, which seems well assembled but looks and feels far less premium than other EVs, luxury badged or otherwise. Look no further than the chic insides of the Volvo C40, Genesis GV60, or Hyundai Ioniq 5. Although the infotainment interface is intuitive, it takes a while to boot up, and sometimes warnings of traffic or weather hazards miles away spontaneously appear, obscuring the entire screen until being cleared manually. However, we appreciate the large bottle holders cleverly integrated into the door panels, and we love seeing physical buttons for climate functions, one clear advantage, at least, over the ID.4's nearly entirely touch-sensitive dash. In crucial factors of range and charging, the Q4 likewise lags. It can accept up to 150 kilowatts on a level 2 charger, a rate that's decent but well behind the industry's best. Similarly, its EPA-certified range of 241 miles is shorter than many of the aforementioned competitors and falls nearly 90 miles shy of a similarly equipped Tesla Model Y. Somewhat unexpectedly for an Audi, the Q4 may redeem itself on price, starting at just more than $50,000 in entry-level 40 premium guise. Our well-equipped 50 Prestige Quattro test vehicle rang up to $64,690. This spread aligns it with many similarly sized electric crossovers, including those from Volvo, Kia, and Genesis. We won't argue the Audi badge project's desirable cachet, but competitors deliver a more upscale experience. Electric vehicles aren't waiting around. Should you? Like its backup camera blocked by the taillight, the Q4 comes across as an amalgamation of surprising miscues. We haven't even mentioned the wires visible near the hood release handle or the sharp plastic edge below the seat adjusters. Volkswagen Group is developing next-generation EV platforms promising all-around improved capabilities, upon which future Audi models will likely be built. If you must have an Audi electric car, wait to see how those shape up. If you must have an electric car now, you have many other options from mainstream and luxury brands alike that deliver better range, quicker charging, and a more premium feel.